Greetings, COVID Chronicles Week 2. Just want to give you guys an idea of what we got in the shop this week. This is by no means everything, just a few highlights. We are still doing the pandemic boxes, and thank you so much for everyone that responded so wonderfully last week, and we're fulfilling a lot of the orders for this week as well. Those are 165, as most of you know, and they're everything you could possibly need in a pandemic to survive it and to be, you know, social distancing in your own home, whatever that means. Okay, there's a couple of things I'm very excited about. The first one is this wonderful Macon. I mentioned this wine last week. The Puy Locher from Marcel Couturier. The lower end we sold out of completely last week. It was so popular. We didn't have much of it. We are, however, getting another 2 cases or so. I found some on the East Coast, and those will be here in a couple of weeks. However, in the meantime, I went ahead and ordered in the last couple of cases of Marcel's top-end cuvée, the old vine stuff that's 50, 60-year-old vines, called Les Bourg. And this is a 2015 also. The wine we showed last week was a 2016, which is a very good vintage. However, anyone that follows Burgundy knows that 15 was one of the best in recent memory. So this wine is a little bit more expensive, but really for what you're getting, I think the difference is somewhat negligible. As I said before, locating really good white Burgundy that's priced for the common man, that is all of us, is getting increasingly difficult nowadays. So I was very excited to come across these wines, which, as I said, I was only able to get previously in France. Smells great. So Les Bourg is a specific part of the vineyard, the old vines, as I said. Let's give this charming wine a sniff. Oh, lovely. All the richness of the one I featured last week, the Terrelone 2016. A little more complexity in the nose. My goodness, that is fabulous stuff. It really is. It's got all the richness of the cheaper wine from last week from the same producer, but in addition, it's got wonderful acidity, even for a 2015. You can see by the color, this is a beautiful wine. This is gonna age perfectly for another 2 to 3 years if you wanted to. And it's only a couple of bucks more than the other one. I think we had the last one at $28.95. This is the big brother. It's gonna be $32.95 before the discount. That's a spectacular price on a Burgundy of this quality. So that's the first one I wanted to show you guys. And since we are entering some wonderful weather right now, one of my favorite wineries from the Languedoc and one of our favorite visits of the last couple of years is Domaine de Fontaine. Bruno Laboucaret and his father were wonderful people. They make wonderful wines. The Gris de Gris, which is a rosé that they make, all from red wines, red grapes, is perennially one of my favorite rosés. The 2018 was fantastic. And now, since it's a holdover from last year, the importer, it's a Kermit Lynch import, the local importer in Portland is putting this on a great sale for 15 bucks. That's a killer deal for this wine. So that is that wine. And what I love about this wine is the fact that it is made from red grapes gives it a little bit extra punch, and yet, and you get these wonderful strawberry and red berry aromatics and flavors in this wine. But Bruno is really a great winemaker, and he has some wonderful, wonderful heritage vines that he works from. But he's able to make this wine with all that sort of punch and extra flavor intensity, but it's still incredibly well integrated and actually almost gentle in a sense because of the textures and the way it enters the mouth. Beautiful copper color, still in great shape. There's, it's a fallacy to think that all rosé needs to be drunk in the first year. It doesn't at all. This is one of those that holds over really, really well. Much like Tempier does. In fact, Tempier, it's a crime to drink Tempier when it's released. Wonderful blood orange, tangerine, apricot, Weizen fruit sort of notes in this wine. Beautiful nose. One of the things I love about this wine the most is the creamy texture. It's got this wonderful tang. That's the acidity that's still very present to really cleanse the palate. Great fruit quality. This is what I'll be drinking on the deck this afternoon, I can guarantee you that. So this wine comes in tomorrow. There's only 8 cases left at this price. I'm telling you, this is a great start on the rosé season. You're probably not going to find a better rosé than that at that money for sure. The third wine, the last one I want to show to you, this is a wine that is really, it's a chateau that's really come on lately in the last couple of vintages. This is the 2016 Liliane Ladouis, a Saint-Estèphe. And Saint-Estèphe, this property is actually on the border with Pauillac. And it's not far from Lafitte and Côte d'Estournel, two obviously very highly thought of properties, so it's in the right neighborhood. And this is under new ownership in the last 12 years, and it seems like every year this wine becomes a, well, according to many of the critics, an overachiever. The 2016 was even more of that than usual, and if you look at the reviews of this wine across the board, they're all in that low 90 range. We're talking everyone from Decanter to Parker to Venice Media on down. So Saint-Estèphe, the commune of Saint-Estèphe on the left bank of Bordeaux, is historically known for very tough wines that take forever to age, but because of the changes taking place in Bordeaux over the last decade, people are making these wines much more accessible. And the other factor that lends to the accessibility of this wine is that unusually for this commune, which is normally dominated by Cabernet Sauvignon, you find a predominance of Merlot in this blend, with a lot of Cabernet and very, very old vine Petit Verdot, which is really key to this wine. I don't recommend opening up young Bordeaux and not decanting it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Do as I say, not as I do. But I wanted you to see the color of this wine. This is an incredible wine. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, excuse me while I marvel at this wine for a minute. So I got the last 3 cases of this wine at this special pricing. This is one of the peculiarities about Bordeaux. When you buy these things and they come out and they get all these ratings, they're much more expensive. If you just wait, there's a lot of Bordeaux that's made, we all know that. So it's not like Burgundy where things are going to sell out. Sometimes they do, but oftentimes I like to buy these things that they come back around, which is what I did with this wine. This is a stupendous wine. I mean, the nose of kirsch and blackberry and the intense, I mean, look at the color of this wine. It's just this beautiful dark garnet. It is as rich as it looks. The nose is giving off all of this wonderful dark berry fruit and kirsch and smoky cassis. Oh my goodness, it's really beautiful, and a little vanilla. I know that I don't always go for bigger wines in Authentica. I'm always looking for balance and everything that I seek. It's my personal palate. But it's a real joy to come across a wine like this that has both the balance and the intense, rich fruit and really great acidity. I mean, this wine is gonna, if you wanted to, this wine will age. But if you want to drink this now, you can decant this for several hours, and this will be just a wonderful wine due to all this wonderful forward fruit. And with the right food, with lamb especially, protein like that, this wine will sing, even though it's very, very young, 16, 4 years of bottle age. So this wine normally sold in the upper 30s, close to 40 bucks, 92 points, 93 points, all that kind of groovy stuff. This wine right now is down to $32.95 with the wine club discount. It makes it 28 bucks. That is an incredible price for a Bordeaux, a Saint Estèphe of this quality from a great vintage. So not many of those. If you want the La Douce, you're gonna have to speak up fairly soon. And I have to apologize at this point for all of you that didn't get the wines you ordered on the Italian sale. I've never had an experience like that where I've sold close to 30 cases in really 30 minutes. That wine just flew out of here, and I know I disappointed a lot of people. For that, I'm sorry. It's the nature of the beast here at Authentica, unfortunately. You know, I'm constantly searching for these wines. Small production by nature, and when you can find them for these great prices, they're going to go quickly. It's just the way it is, and I'm grateful for that success, and I thank all of you for that, because you're the ones who are responsible. Okay, that's it. You'll hear from us periodically. We're still on the lookout for great wines. This week we're going to have the pickup, our standard will call pickup, Thursday between 4 and 5. I'm sorry, today's Thursday. Friday between 4 and 5, and then Saturday between 11 and noon-ish. And keep in mind that on Saturday, the market is out front, and so for those of you that need to pick up cases, it makes it a little bit more difficult. But the way we like to work it now, just reiterate, to keep you safe, to keep us safe, all the wine comes in outside. No one comes in the shop anymore, except Timmy and I, that's it. We bring the wine in after a sufficient time of giving it a good spray with our alcohol mist. And your wine, when we have it packaged and ready for you, will be in the hallway with your name on it. We like to get prepayment because it makes it easy to have no contact that way. And you guys can come in the hallway, pick up your wine after it's been paid for, and just make it simple. So, and I like to emphasize too that we're more than happy to put together anything special that you're looking for. In fact, one great customer asked for a case of sparkling wine this week, so we're doing that for her. Any special orders are more than welcome. We'll work with you on whatever you want. Oh, I wanted to mention too, there is a little bit more of the Le Cousin Pinot Noir from Beaufrère. This is the second label of Beaufrère, the 2018, which is a tremendous vintage. This is an on-premise wine only, which means on-premise licensees like Authentica and other wine bars and restaurants are the ones that are offering this. I would be pouring this by the glass as I usually do at this time of the year when it comes out. However, obviously we're not able to do that. So we're just selling it straight up. And there is an allocation on this wine, because we only get a few cases. But if you're interested, let us know. It's $36.95. There are no discounts. The winery insists on that to keep the price respectable. And believe me, it's worth every penny of that. Okay, that's it. Thanks for another week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep your mask up.